Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcasting network. In the ring with Jimmy and Rod and a special guest, Rod. It's not Chris. No old men here.
That's right. And normally this is the part of the podcast where I get angry and yell and rant about something, but I will step aside because we have far more important business to get to this week. We are joined by someone who was at SmackDown in Philadelphia, at night 1 of WrestleMania in Philadelphia.
Wow, good weekend.
At night 2 of WrestleMania in Philadelphia, and also at Monday Night Raw. So who better to talk to than Sarah Lukenbill, longtime wrestling fan, and we hope longtime fan of this podcast, now coming on and joining us to talk to us about her experience. Sarah, hello.
Hello.
Sarah, I am very excited to talk to you about the whole weekend. But first of all, let's get a little story behind here, because you just didn't get up in the morning and say, "Hey, we're going to go to 4 nights and 38 hours straight of wrestling." Talk to us a little bit about your wrestling background there, Sarah.
Well, I liked wrestling in the 80s, and I watched it with my dad and brothers, and then got back into it in the late 90s and early 2000s. And then kind of fell away from it and just got back into it here recently. We've been watching it for probably six months.
And you're in the good era then. You missed all the really, really bad stuff. Okay. Wow.
So, and I really was a big fan, so I got my husband to start watching it with me. We decided to go to WrestleMania because why not?
I need to grab my wife. Just give me one. No, anyway, you might as well go to WrestleMania.
Sarah's smart like me, Jim. She decided to take all those years off that you were slugging through and dealing with subpar product, right? You were being the real true blue fan, and we were off doing other fun stuff, and we decided to come back when things got cool.
Yeah.
The amount of 50-50 booking that you don't even know what I went through. No idea. The amount of things that change day to day, hour to hour, segment to segment. But I digress. This is not about me. This is not about Rod. This is about you, Sarah. I've got to ask straight up first question. Night 1 of WrestleMania. How cold were you?
There we go.
It was freezing. It was really awful. And we did not bring winter coats because I didn't think it was going to be that bad. So we bought a lot of expensive sweatshirts and hats and everything.
I bet you those went pretty quickly, didn't they?
Oh yeah, and we waited in line for probably, I don't know, half of an hour, 45 minutes just to get to purchase them. So.
Honestly,
you remember how long I was in the line at Fastlane? I mean, I can only imagine what the line's going to be like at WrestleMania, right? I mean,
literally six times the people. Yeah.
Who'd you go with merch-wise? I mean, did we go with
next question?
Did we go with WrestleMania merch? Did we get individual with it? Who'd we go with?
We got mostly like WrestleMania stuff. I love The Rock, so I had to get some good Rock gear. And we had some LA Knight. I like Drew McIntyre, but I couldn't find any of his stuff.
It was all bought. It was all purchased. Chris King bought it all. Yeah.
All right, well, let me ask you this then. So you bought some LA Knight. Every once in a while, people like to throw out LA Knight a little bit rockish. As a Rock fan and now an LA Knight t-shirt purchaser, what do you think? Do you see any similarities there?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like LA Knight reminds me more of Randy Savage, I guess.
Oh, interesting. Okay, a little over the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially with the Yeah.
Okay.
So, and now he's doing Slim Jim commercials.
Snap into
That's
it.
a valid point. So on night 1, where were you seated?
We were seated like not too far from the stage, honestly, like from the ring. We were seated to the, would that be like the northwest of the stage?
Okay, so if you're okay.
And like but like down in the lower level, like not right on the lawn, but in the lowest level.
Okay, so one thing that happens a lot at WrestleManias, and you may not be aware of this because you're a 6-monther, had decades before too, but sight lines usually are pretty bad for people with outside WrestleManias. How do you think the sight lines were for you?
Oh, it was really good. Like, we could see everything that was going on. We could see right when they came out, like when they would walk down the like plank.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I love you because you're still new. You're still coming in, and I love it. Don't think I don't. It's fantastic. The entrance ramp. No, you're fantastic. That's great. This is what we like. This is
yeah,
what
so
people
they
like to
would
hear.
walk down that. We could see them walk in, and then we were
Awesome.
able to get like a pretty good view of the ring the whole time. So it was exciting. And then when they were fighting outside the ring, they actually came over really close to where we were sitting. So
I was
mean,
going to go to that final
not
match,
far.
actually, Jimmy, real quick. Glad you
Yeah,
brought that up
go
there,
ahead.
Sarah. As a crowd member, was it difficult to realize that The Rock had basically thrown out all the rules in that tag team match, right? Because that was something we definitely picked up quickly because the cameras were close enough that we heard The Rock basically threatening the referee's life with a curse word because The Rock can't go a segment without cursing these days. But was that able to be picked up in the audience? Did you guys realize that the rules were just completely thrown out at one point?
So you couldn't hear it, and the thing that's really weird for me watching it live, I hadn't been to any like SmackDown or Raw or any of that before. So watching it
Wait,
live,
you've
it was
never
so
been to a
weird
live event before WrestleMania weekend?
so we went to like one of the Road to WrestleMania events in Corbin,
Okay, so a
Kentucky, which
house
is just a
show.
tiny
Okay,
thing, right?
okay, okay.
But it was like one of the big televised events. And it was really weird that you couldn't hear the announcers. And so like,
Everybody says that their
it
first
was
time.
so
Yep.
strange to not hear that. And so you couldn't really hear what The Rock was like saying to the refs or anything like that. I think we all got the idea that he was telling them what's up, that he's the final boss. But yeah, that was really bizarre.
What was the WrestleMania crowd like? Was it a little unruly? Was it not as unruly because everybody was so cold? What was happening there?
I would say, even though people were cold, I think that they were still really jazzed to be there. And I'm sure the beer didn't hurt. So,
So of the four nights, what crowd was the rowdiest?
I would say probably WrestleMania night 2.
Okay.
People
Now,
were just really jazzed.
from our perspective, watching it at home, night 2's pacing seemed to go a lot quicker, and it was a lot more engaging. Is that what you felt as well?
Yes. Night 1, I thought maybe it was just because we were so cold that it felt like it just was dragging. I was like, oh, come on, let's fight. Let's get something going.
We don't need 40 minutes between the Intercontinental Championship match and the tag team match. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
we were just freezing to death. So yeah, I do feel like night 2 was a lot faster paced.
Well, you'll be happy to know that Nick Khan has mentioned that this is probably going to be the last outdoor East Coast WrestleMania they ever do. So that'll be good. I am.
You hear that, wrestling fans out there on Twitter getting WrestleMania 41 trending the other day talking about Minnesota? No chance. All right. There's no chance that WrestleMania 41 is going to be in Minnesota. Zero. Stop it.
Oh, unless
Thank
is the
God.
dome still? Is the dome still there? No, that went away.
They want to fill a stadium 2 nights, Jim. They love all that stuff. They love the gate, biggest WrestleMania ever, digital this, digital that. Come on, you know the WWE. They love nothing more than patting themselves on the back.
So for day 1, Sarah, we had, and just a quick review, real quick for our listeners as well. We had Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. We had the 6-pack ladder match challenge. Mysterio and Andrade versus Dominic and Santos. Jay and Jimmy Uso. Jade Cargill and group against Damage Control. Sami Zayn and Gunther. And The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Cody and Seth. Besides The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody, and Seth, I think that might have been your favorite match. If not, that's okay. What was your favorite match? What do you think that really got you and captivated you?
Well, I was really into the Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch match because although I didn't initially like Rhea that much, I really have started to like her, and I really am not a big fan of Becky Lynch. So
Whoa,
And that has been the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan.
We love some Rhea Ripley around here, but we're
Yeah,
also
we
big
do.
fans of the man. We're also big fans of the man because Seth Rollins is basically a shining light, a beacon of this podcast because of my love for Seth Rollins. So she kind of gets in through marriage, right? Which is basically if Adam walked into the screen right now, my dear friend Adam Lucanville, he'd be okay to be on the podcast through marriage to you. You know what I mean? It's kind of a thing there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Adam, I know you can't speak for him, but you're going to speak for him. How did he enjoy night one? Because he's not as, I mean, you kind of got him into it. How did he enjoy, I guess, his experience overall?
I think he thought it rocked. I think he really enjoyed it. So
he's wearing a championship belt right now. Don't lie to me.
We came away with a lot of t-shirts for him. So I'll just say that.
He's going to have a while to catch up to me. I think I'm up to like 20, and I've amassed him in like the last 7 months. So tell him he's got a while to go to catch up to me.
Oh, goodness.
Your Honor, I yeet. That is all I have to say about that. The night two. So night one. Let's talk. Getting out of the stadium, getting into the stadium. I love to hear this just because all venues are different.
You're an old man. You're an old man, and these are the things you really truly care about.
Yes, we have things to do in life, Rod. Getting out of the stadium, how was that for night one?
It was really not bad at all. There is like a public transport, but like train terminal, a block down. So
70,000 people went to that.
And so all of the trains were headed back into the city. They just like stopped all the trains. They were running into the city, and it was really pretty quick, honestly.
Okay.
So
for night two, weather a lot better, obviously.
Yeah.
And did that affect what your experience was? I'm assuming it did.
It did, and we had better seats for night two, so we were had a better line of sight, and we're sitting in a front row, so it wasn't quite as cramped.
I'm sorry, a front
like
row.
A front row in our section. In our section. Yeah.
Let's just calm down a little bit there.
Not that close.
Just sitting ringside at all right now. That's
I do happen to know that you guys for night two were somewhere near the luxury boxes, and a picture of a surprise guest was snapped. That was sent to me by your lovely husband.
Yes, it was incredibly awesome because the Undertaker has been like one of my favorite guys since like I was super young. So I just
to be fair, he's been wrestling since you and I were both super young, right? I remember him wrestling as a 9-year-old.
We're old now. Yeah. So well, Rod and I are. You're not.
Yeah, we're the old men here. We'll take that. We'll wear that one.
So that was really awesome to see him. We also went to the Hall of Fame induction, so we got to see him after SmackDown at the Hall of Fame induction, and he we saw him go up on the stage, and then he kind of faltered, almost falling down the stairs when he came off the stage. So for him to show up in the ring was a huge shock.
Was that the biggest pop when that gong went off? Was that the biggest pop?
Oh my God. Like I can tell you that stadium, like the lights went off and that gong, and the stadium was silent. Like everybody was just like, like, and then the lights came back on and everyone just went wild. It was quite a feeling to be there.
Do you think that's what's sweeping up Adam a little bit here? Is that like there's just no situation like professional wrestling where you get to be that excited, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like he's a barrister, you know what I mean? He's in court, you know what I mean? There's no situation where he gets to just, yell up and scream and have entrance music played for him when he walks in, right? Like that's what wrestling's all about.
It was pretty awesome. I think that it totally does get him excited. I think the only thing that might get him anywhere near that excited is monster trucks.
There you go. Similar vibes. I like
it. They go hand in hand for sure.
Yeah, I think he was having a great time walking around. Everybody was yelling, yeah.
Let's get to it. LA Knight AJ Styles, a match that was just kind of thrown together over the past month or so. Did you enjoy the match as an LA Knight fan?
I did. I like AJ and LA Knight.
Who doesn't?
But it was a really it was a really fun storyline. I really liked the feud between them. And it was nice to have like some kind of backstory because I feel like there's some of that lacking in the modern era, I guess.
You know what else is lacking in that match? LA Knight's wrestling ability, but that's a story for another time.
So a huge surprise. We had Damian Priest cashing in the Money in the Bank. Talk
That
to
was
me about it.
wild.
Yeah.
That was what, like, I was so excited because I love Drew. Sorry, Rod. But I was like super stoked when he won. And then I'm not a big CM Punk fan. So I was like,
Congratulations, Rod.
so I was happy to see him like kind of rubbing it in his face a little bit. And then,
Got cocky.
I have to tell you, even though like I really love Drew, I died. Like I was laughing so hard. I was so shocked. And it was so funny that Damian Priest just ran out there and threw that cash box and cashed in and
the money, the Money in the Bank.
So funny. That was a riot.
They should call it the cash box. That's way better.
Cash box.
It was so
Drew
funny.
McIntyre didn't think it was funny. He wasn't laughing, just throwing that out there.
He's never laughing unless he makes the joke himself. Drew's got to calm down.
So let's talk about the main event. Well, actually, before I forget, Paul Heyman's speech at the
I knew
Hall
you'd
of
go
Fame.
there. I knew you'd go there. That was like red meat sitting there for you.
Did you understand everything? Because you were kind of a Laps fan there for a while. Did you get it?
Like, so
were you offended?
No, I was not. I wasn't offended.
I was.
I do remember him from like in the trench coat with the big phone.
Okay.
Back in the day, but like it was a surprise to me to like hear how involved he was. Like, I guess having fallen away from that, I didn't realize how much he had been integral in so many wrestlers' careers. So that was pretty interesting.
Cody Rhodes finishes the story. At any point in time, did you think Cody Rhodes was losing that match?
I thought maybe when The Rock came out, like I thought, like, okay, like here it is. Maybe Roman will retain. But as soon as you see the Undertaker there, it's over. So
were you also like me in weeping tears when Seth Rollins took that chair shot to the back that was just completely unnecessary? And if Roman hadn't had to take revenge against Seth, maybe he could actually won the match? Or is that just me?
Well, I thought that it was kind of like a payback to The Rock because he accidentally speared him the day before in that tag team match. So I felt like he was trying to be like, all right, I'm saving you from getting whacked with
Sarah, I promise you there will be footage in the future when The Rock and Roman Reigns are getting ready for their match, right? They will roll that footage. They'll be like, let's go back to WrestleMania. And just maybe they'll even cut an angle where you and Adam will be in the crowd. Who knows? But I guarantee that's coming back up. I guarantee that's coming back up someday.
So from WrestleMania, because I do want to talk about one quick thing for Monday Night Raw, but maybe three quick things, whatever. You're just a joy, Sarah. Thank you very much for doing this. Any other stories and anything happen? Anything fun happen? Any like you can't believe this happened in the crowd or on the way to the stadium? Anything like that?
I guess I was surprised to see so many people in like full costume. Like I didn't like you see people wearing t-shirts and stuff on TV, but like I was really shocked. We saw these two, like they look like twin sisters and they were dressed as like Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth and and when we were at Friday Night SmackDown, there was this Dutch fellow who was dressed in like full Undertaker costume. He was, it was just really a surprise to see so many people just completely dressed up like that, I guess.
Was that Cesaro, Jimmy? What's Cesaro up to? Could that have been Cesaro dressed up as
guess.
the Undertaker there?
He's Swiss, not Dutch. Thank you.
Listen, all the Norse lands are the same. This is America.
So for Raw, the 45 or 43-minute talk between Rock and Cody.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rod, calm down. In sitting there watching that, how was the experience?
Well, it was interesting to watch. Like, I was waiting for The Rock to do something. Like, I didn't know if he was gonna, like, if he was really genuine, if something was gonna happen.
No fireworks tonight. No
And
fireworks.
it was also difficult because I'm a big fan of The Rock, and everybody was just like screaming obscenities constantly.
That's
so we
so
rude.
you and Adam were not joining in and shouting down the Rock.
No, not me. I love The Rock, and Adam would have, I would have had to lay the smack down on him if
There we go. There we go.
trash on The Rock. So, yeah, but it was, I don't know. I guess like it felt like there was like a lead up to not much.
Yeah, to a secret handshake, something we don't know what it is, a further
Hey,
mystery.
he gave him some. So Sarah, what did Rock give him?
I don't know. You couldn't see, like, whatever it was clamped in his hand. You couldn't see anything.
Use your imagination. What did he give him?
I have no idea.
Okay. No one else does either.
He gave him part of Roman's necklace. Is a viable theory that I heard on an earlier wrestling podcast today, Jimmy.
Oh.
Because that's how he broke his heart, because he had the belt taken away from the Anoa'i family, and he has to be the one to get it back.
Oh.
So why would Cody not just look at this flower and go?
Because he's gonna know, right? Wasn't that the other thing that The Rock said? You're gonna know without having to look at it. So the minute that he touches that from Roman's necklace, what do you call it? You know what it's called? The thing that makes him the tribal chief. You're the smart guy here, Jimmy. What's it called?
The tribal chief necklace.
No, there's another name for it. They call it something else. You've even called it that on this podcast.
I know I have, but I just can't get over the fact that Sarah just spent 38 hours watching wrestling. So after everything is said and done, overall 4-day experience, would you do it again?
Oh yeah. Like we've already talked about next year. And maybe SummerSlam. So
wow, that is
Let's go.
It was really awesome.
So now you guys are tuning in every Monday night, every Friday night. You guys are faithful watchers now.
Right. So we were gone a huge chunk of February and March, vacationing, and then so we were out of the country, and we missed a bunch of episodes, and we wanted to catch up before WrestleMania, obviously, so we knew what was going on. And so we had to watch like 12 episodes just straight. We're just watching.
You guys are living my dream.
It was awesome, but also it felt kind of like a job at that point. I was like, all right, come on, let's fast forward through some of the talking. Let's fast forward.
The amount of times that you guys saw the Judgment Day talking in the back completely nonsensically about handling business has to be infinite.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
So next year, when you see Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio, is it actually them, or is it Sarah and Adam doing a little cosplay? Who knows? Sarah, you have been a joy. We appreciate it so much. You are definitely going to be back on this podcast no matter what you or anyone else says. And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Know's podcasting network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Sarah.
And Chris, you just got Wally pipped, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm not entirely sure that we ever need your presence again on this podcast. You've been dragging us down for weeks and months at this point, and we just had somebody come in who has more charisma in her first ever appearance than you've managed to muster up in a long time, Chris. Just cut a promo on you, old man.
I take my rightful place at the head of the table. Believe that.
Rod is back, and even though I just cut a promo on Chris saying that maybe he can never come back on the podcast because Sarah just killed it on her interview, I have relented already because Chris is here. Chris, hello.
I am beyond jealous, Rod. All right. That is a full WrestleMania weekend that they got to experience. So jealous.
Well, listen, Sarah's appearance on the podcast was fabulous. She will be on in the future. You will get your chance to ask Sarah a question. But we have some big doings on Monday night to go over. The leader of this podcast, Jimmy Jamariska, is on vacation, so you won't be hearing him here, but he is still wonderful enough to edit it for us and get it out. His thoughts on these things will be coming at you next week. He may even come in hot. He may start yelling about one of these things before Chris and I even get the chance to talk next week. Who knows? Chris, what do you think the chances of that are?
I'm on this podcast, Rod. It's about 100% for sure. I'm gonna make Jimmy hot about something.
I think you're absolutely right. Let's start at the beginning of Raw, Chris. Our women's champion, everyone's favorite, Rhea Ripley, comes out in an arm sling and looks awfully pissed off. What did you think when you first saw her hit the ramp?
I thought, okay, we're gonna see another female wrestler fight through an injury or have an issue that's going to be written into a storyline. I did not think this was serious where they were going to have her vacate because, wow, that was literally the last thing I thought was going to happen.
I 100% agree with you, Chris. I often don't come on this podcast and agree with you, but when the Seth Rollins injury happened and we knew Seth was going to come out, I'd heard about it on Twitter and I'd seen this thing come through. And now listen, it might have been there and I just didn't notice it, but it didn't seem as prevalent to me and it didn't seem as serious right from the jump. And then she's given up the belt. Chris, I ask you, do you think it's fair that my guy Seth was sort of allowed to be managed through his injury and then fight when he got back and they're taking the belt from Rhea Ripley? I think that question has to be asked, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think in Rollins' case, they were able to hide his injury a little bit more. Think back to Cody Rhodes, that injury he had. I know he fought that one fight with Rollins, but there was no way he was going to be able to continue working. And if he had held a belt at that time, they would either had him lose to Rollins or had him vacate the belt then, I think. I think especially with this new belt and the injury Rollins had, they were able to work through that and keep that belt on him, which is what they wanted to do.
I think you're right to point out the difference in clearly the severity of injury here, right? I think if Seth would have been out for a little bit longer and had he not been able to have the possibility of being medical cleared by WrestleMania, I think they probably would have pivoted. So let's just say here on the human form, sad for Rhea, right? Hopefully she gets better soon, right? I don't think there's anything else to say other than that. But let's go to kayfabe here, Chris. How much do you think is added to this by us being told that Liv Morgan did this in a backstage attack the week after WrestleMania? Is that adding anything for you, or do you think this would all be the same if we were just told, hey, she got injured in a match?
I like this better because it gives me that realism in wrestling that we do enjoy. At least I do. I like not being sure, Rod. Okay. There are times I really enjoy not being sure. So I like this angle. Use real life to your advantage on the screen, right?
No, definitely. I think that's definitely a good idea. I guess I just wonder if, like, I had an immediate thought for some reason that if we acknowledge that someone in this business can get hurt in the act of just doing their job, doesn't that almost make it seem more real, right? Than having to trump up a scenario where I'm to believe that a woman was allowed to attack another woman at their place of business with a chair completely unprovoked and sneak attack. Do you know what I mean by that, Chris?
I mean, this is the WWE, Rod. People get snuck attack literally every day in the back. So, I mean, that should be in their job description to begin with. All right. And I think everybody knows you can get hurt. All right. We're not complete morons. Okay. I know I'm a mark or whatever, however you guys like to call it. I know I'm a mark, but like, I do know people legitimately get hurt, and we have seen it, all right? And we all know it can happen. And if it's not in a hyper serious type injury, write it into the show, especially if everybody's comfortable with it.
I love that you said if it's you never know when it's going to pop up either. Because remember, Cody Rhodes just hurt himself basically in training, right? He just lifting weights a couple of days before that match against Seth at SummerSlam there, and he had to pivot there. Chris, I have one more question for you here. All right, it's a little out of left field, but I think it relates here. Okay, does this particular situation give you any more respect for Roman Reigns because during his long reign, the man managed to not ever get himself hurt? Now, I will say that Roman definitely didn't wrestle very often, but we have talked on this podcast that Rhea doesn't wrestle very often. So does this give you any more respect for Roman, the fact that he was able to hold on for as long as he did?
I mean, no. I'm going to tell you why. One, I can't root for the bloodline, all right? Especially Roman, all right? I just can't. But two, like, the dude wrestled once a month, maybe, and that's a big maybe. Sometimes it was once every other month. He could have had an injury, Rod, been out for 2 months, not had to do
That's
any
fair.
or take any bump, and no one would have known.
No, that's definitely fair. That's definitely fair. I will 100% agree with you there. And I'm bummed about Rhea. Let's turn it towards kayfabe again here. One last question before we move on. Who do you want to see win this tournament that they're inevitably going to start launching out, right? We're going to have preliminary matches on TV, and then we'll have the finals at a pay-per-view here. Who do you think should come out at the top of this tournament?
I don't know, because I am a fan of Liv Morgan. All right, and I kind of like this revenge tour angle that they're going to go on.
This
She
is clearly more of a darker Liv Morgan than we've seen in a while, right? This is clearly a heel turn Liv Morgan.
yeah, a little bit more vicious. Uh, I would like to see her and Becky Lynch maybe end up fighting for it at the top of this. I think you could see a real good hardcore match between them two. But part of me also thinks this is a perfect opportunity to get either, and I know they're already involved in another little storyline, but a Jade or a Bianca back into a belt.
All right, I got 2 points for you. Are you worried that we went to talk to Nia Jax backstage soon after all of this stuff was announced? Did that worry you any?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, but she's what everybody loves to hate, right? I mean, at least me.
In my
So
opinion here, Chris, in my opinion, this is the perfect scenario to put the belt on Nia Jax, right? Because what Nia Jax is a behemoth, a monster bigger than every other woman on the card, right? It's believable to me that she could figure out a way to come out on top in a tournament, right? Do I want to see her embroiled in a feud that lasts months and months and months? No, because I don't want to see that much of her on my TV. But do I believe that if you put 8 wrestlers in a room and you say this bracket's going to determine who's the winner, of course I believe Nia Jax can come out on top. So I worry about that a little bit, but I like your original thought here, the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. Doesn't it make perfect storyline sense for this belt to be on Liv when Rhea does come back from her injury?
yeah, I think that makes the most sense. If you give this belt to Nia, that has to just be a temporary placeholder until Rhea comes back, and you got to think Rhea's going to get that belt right away. If Liv has it, and to a lesser extent Becky as well, if she has it, I
I
think you
worry
can.
about Becky, Chris. I didn't want to say this to you, but I worry about Becky. I worry that we're not going to see Seth or Becky on TV for a little while.
Yeah,
I worry.
I know. I'm with you. So let's just stick with Liv then.
Yeah.
If Liv has that belt, I don't think it's a guarantee that Rhea gets it right away coming back.
Let me float this to you, all right? Because I like your thought of Bianca and Jade, right? I don't know if necessarily we have to have Bianca and Jade turn on each other yet, but you sparked my interest here a little bit. We hear about transitional champion in the WWE all the time, right? What if Nia wins this tournament, all right? Doesn't have the belt long, but that sets up a match with her and Jade Cargill. Chris, are you interested in that?
Oh yeah, we all saw the Royal Rumble, right? We all saw what Jade came in and did to Nia Jax. You just picked her up and threw her out the ring. Give me 10 to 15 minutes of that. All right, let's go.
Okay. All right. I like it. There we go. That's good. Well, we'll be able to talk more about this as they set up the tournament. Jimmy, I'm sure we'll have some thoughts on this when he comes back. Let's turn our attention to the next thing that happened chronologically in the Raw episode. the tag team champions, Awesome Truth, were brought out to the ring to meet with Adam Pearce and Triple H. And Chris, I'll just kind of let you tell the rest of the story here. How do we want to explain what happened with our guy, R-Truth here?
Well, we love our boy. All right. I think he was overcome with emotion, uh, getting acknowledged for having his WrestleMania moment. The crowd in Montreal, which was a phenomenal crowd. All right, they were great.
They were hot all night.
Yeah, and chanting the "You deserve this" chant, which has been great as of late. So I think with all that emotions, he got caught up in the moment and didn't realize there was something underneath a blanket on a table, and then thought that Triple H or Mr. Champa, depending
Correct.
on who you ask, uh, magically made these new belts appear, and R-Truth does not trust magicians. So he gets a little wary. And in doing so, he didn't want to believe that these belts were theirs to have. The belts look amazing, by the way, so much better than the red ones.
I have a quick question for you, though, Chris. If these are the world tag team champions, what in the world are they going to call the belts on Friday night?
The Undisputed.
See, what we just had Undisputed. That's what I mean. I don't get all of this. Jimmy might be able to sort the belt stuff out for me, but you're right that they looked phenomenal. That I will not deny. The big logo there, a little more gold, they looked great.
Yeah, so R-Truth does not want to take these belts, and he doesn't understand what's going on. And it takes The Miz and the phenomenal French-speaking Montreal Canadians to then let R-Truth understand in his non-native language of French that those are his new titles.
That's right. Not to mention, R-Truth believed that this was Ciampa in the ring with him the entire time and not Triple H. So just more great stuff out of our guy.
Oh, it was absolutely fabulous. I was getting worried that we were going to have another hour of talking, but the fact that the second segment after Sheamus came back, which was awesome.
Good call. I forgot about Shamo coming back. Good call.
Yep. That second segment was fantastic, and I could have taken more. I mean, how many times do you think we're going to get to see Triple H be like, "Do you need me anymore? I'm out of here. Good luck."
I like that. That's a good gimmick for him. You're right. Let's talk about Sheamus here for a second before we get to the big main event. Excited to see the Celtic Warrior back. A little bit of new music, right? Because the Brawling Brutes are no longer a thing. His guy Butch is now Pete Dunne wrestling over with the big strong boy Tyler Bate and the New Catch Republic. So Shamo back on his own. But hey, man, seeing him bust it up with Ivar, big meaty men slapping meat. Chris, let's go.
Right. It was a good match. I mean, it's exactly what you wanted to see as far as Sheamus coming back, right? You want to see the countdown on the beatings on the rope. You want to see him just manhandle big dudes. Like, this is what, and it's maybe a little bit foreshadowing. I know we're coming up on the draft. Are we going to see Sheamus on Raw instead of SmackDown?
I think there's a very good possibility. Very good possibility. Speaking of good matches, let's get to the finale. We knew it was going to be a good match. Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, it was. But Chris, we should probably start with the entrances, right? We get a camera angle of Jey Uso exiting out of the building, trying to get away from the Judgment Day. And when he exits the building, he runs into none other than Sami Zayn, who's outside the building, tells us that the first time Sami ever wrestled was in this very building, and he's going to walk in tonight, a main eventer, the same way he did back then, through the front door. And we proceed to have a camera follow Sami, walk in, and then through the concourse, by the concessions, and then down through all the people in the crowd. And the place is just going absolutely crazy. And Chris, I was transfixed. This is one of the coolest entrances to the ring I've ever seen.
Yeah, they've done this a couple different times with a couple different wrestlers. We even saw KO request this, but like, this entrance was awesome. And if you are from Montreal, a wrestling fan, you had to love every single second of this, of your hometown hero running through the crowd, his own people surrounding him going crazy, and then him to walk out into the stadium itself. Like, it was just an excellent entrance for Sami.
And our guy Chad Gable comes out, right? He's not getting booed. He's not getting jeered, but he's certainly not getting cheered because he is in enemy territory here. He comes out, gives us an absolutely great banger of a match. Chris, how many times during this match did you think maybe our guy Sammy was going to get done dirty in his hometown and we were going to see a new Intercontinental Champion?
Like, I kept saying, no, it can't happen. But see, you guys, you and Jimmy keep pecking at the back of my brain saying they love to screw people in their hometown. And I'm thinking, they can't take it away from Sammy this quick. And in his hometown, can they? Like, they like to screw people in their hometown. So I kept going back and forth. It was a good match, that's for sure. But I really thought they'd let Sammy keep the belt, especially since they didn't let him win last year at the Premium Live event.
That's a good call. I'd forgotten about that a little bit until the match had went on, and I was like, yeah, you don't want to see Sammy go down twice in front of the Montreal crowd. But match is over. We get a good handshake, good little bro hug. We think things are all done, and then all of a sudden, Chris, out of nowhere, from off camera, our guy, Mr. America, Mr. Olympian, Mr. Alpha Academy, Chad Gable has snapped and breaks on Sami Zayn. Heel Chad Gable. Chris, are you ready for it?
Well, we knew something was going to happen, right? Because the Alpha Academy isn't really the Academy right now. We haven't seen them all together. We have Maxine with Ivy right now, right? Ivy Lane.
Ivy Nile.
Ivy Nile, thank you. And we see we see the other two as a tag team, so we haven't seen Chad until
They're down
right
in
up.
NXT. They're down in NXT a lot recently. Otis and Tozawa.
Yeah, so you knew something was going to happen. And it was even more so on Monday night when Maxine came out without an Alpha Academy onesie. So
That's a good
you,
call. She still looked amazing, though. Maxine can
Well-
wear anything she wants to.
yep, right. So you knew something was going to happen. Let's give it a go. I mean, I will watch Gable in the ring no matter who he's wrestling or when, because you know it's going to be a good match. So if he turns heel, let's see what he can do.
I think there's a better chance Chad Gable might get himself individual championship belt in his career as a heel, right? I just don't think there was a great place for Gable to continue
No, I think you're right about that.
to continue going as the leader of the Alpha Academy. Thank you. I'm sorry. I got a bad jewel hit there on me.
I think you got choked up by Gable turning heel. That's been your hero for a while.
That's true. I'm not, listen, I love me a heel, so I'm not necessarily against it right now, but I don't know how long of legs there are on Chad Gable heel, but if
You're
it gets
giving
him
me a
in
lot of
the
grief for Drew turning heel, and I'm still in denial. Are you going to be in denial about Gable going heel?
No, I'm not. And I'll tell you why, because I am for it. You're not for Drew's heel turn because you weren't smart enough to see the forest for the trees and realize that Drew turning heel would mean better things for your guy. I don't think Chad Gable turning heel means better things for him because I don't know that there's great things for Chad Gable. He has to continue being a mid-carder. And if he's going to be a mid-carder, I want to be the mid-carder that I know and love, Chris.
I'm just going to say Drew is doing what's right. You're not a heel if you're doing what's right.
Oh, that's great. Speaking of heels, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I never saw Drew shake and hug a guy and then beat him down when he turned his back on him.
No, but Drew definitely attacked some dudes in the back room, with some sneak attack maneuvers. So let's not act like your boy's been 100% sainted. Somebody who is 100% sated, though, is the producer of this podcast, our normal host, Jimmy Jamriska. Hopefully he won't think Chris and I have broke too heel with our takes this week without him. But we had some big doings on Monday Night Raw, so Chris and I thought we'd jump on here real quick and give our thoughts to the people. Chris, any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
I mean, if anybody deserves a vacation, it is our producer, Jimmy. All right. He produces every episode of this podcast, video, audio, all of the above. Not to mention all the weird winter, summer league type camp things that he has going on, whether it's hockey in August or softball in February. I don't know, but it's crazy. So keep it up, Jimmy. You deserve it.
A man for all seasons, our guy, Jimmy Jamriska. He, as Chris just stated, is on vacation, so he will not be joining us later this week for our big Balls and Brews / Fast Break NBA playoff preview. But Chris, we have gone back to our deep bench of lovely contributors here at the Morgan Universe, and we have somebody who's going to come on and talk basketball with us. Chris, tell the people who it's going to be.
Yeah, we got Cowboy Derek going to join us for some NBA talk on Thursday. On the fast break, you are going to hear some. I mean, we'll try to limit it, but he may try to pull in a lot of Chicago Bull talk. We're going to try to rein that in. Hopefully, he doesn't get too sidetracked on the Bulls.
Let's just hope that the Bulls lose the play-in game on Wednesday, and then Derek is barred from being able to talk about the Bulls on Thursday. All right, that's what we all gotta hope for.
Right? He may try to bring up the off season though, Rod. So we gotta keep an eye out.
He definitely will, and I will shut down all off-season talk. We will talk about the playoffs until the playoffs are over, and then we will talk about the off-season. That's what we will do here on the network. Keep in this very feed right here. We got your wrestling needs. We got your sports needs. We got a pop culture show coming up here soon on the horizon. We tend to crank out a few more of those as the summertime arrives, so just keep right here in this feed, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Podbean, whether it's iTunes, whether it's Spotify, however you listen to this podcast. Give us a comment, give us a like, give us a follow. We appreciate it. Chris, say goodbye.
Goodbye, net. Yeah.